I want to welcome you all back to the Dime Trap, where we trap dimes. And today, I want to talk about staying away from negative energy. What I've come to find out a lot lately is a lot of these women out here want to be witches. And they're into witchcraft and all this other crazy stuff. What people don't realize is when you open those doors, you're opening them doors that lead to chaos. So if you're in a relationship right now, you're always getting into arguments. You feel like whenever you're communicating, the words of the other person is being twisted. A lot of the time it's because doors of chaos have been opened into that relationship. You got a lot of people out here nowadays burning sage. You got people out here collecting crystals, burning incense, making altars for deities that they shouldn't be, dibbling dabbling with. And all these things come with consequences. And it's like whenever I come across people and they tell me their story about how them and their significant others always fighting and they don't understand why it's all of a sudden happening. I always ask them, y'all got crystals in your house? And they always say yes. I ask them, are y'all burning candles with incense and making altars in your house? They say yes. And I'm like, that's it right there. That's the reason why your relationship is the way that it is. It's because you've opened these doors for these spirits to come in. And some of these spirits only want to work with whoever opened the door for it. So if you're in a relationship and the girl that you're with has opened these doors for these spirits to come into her life, sometimes these spirits, they get jealous when other people come into the situation. Especially if you come into the situation and you're a Christian following the path of Jesus. You're definitely going to have all types of chaos going on in that relationship. Because her demons aren't going to be able to withstand or be around your godly energy. Those spirits want to have full control of that woman. By you coming in and you telling that woman to do something like clean, cook, any of these things, that spirit is going to be telling her, no, don't do it. You're a goddess. You're this, that, and the other. Because a lot of these spirits, if you was to ever go into looking into spirits of the occult, a lot of the spirits that women work with do not like men. So that spirit is going to do whatever it can to keep a man out of that situation. And what's messed up about it is a lot of women don't really know what it is that they're doing when they're doing all this stuff. They just see on YouTube, ooh, do this love potion, do this love spell, and he's gonna come running back to you. And yes, these things are real. When I used to live in Florida, there was this place in Florida that a lot of women went to. The lady was a witch. And you would see a long line. Every day of women coming in trying to put spells on their boyfriends and their husbands. So we got to be careful out here. We got to be careful about what type of women we dealing with. Everything that looks good to the eye ain't always good. And I see so many women on these dating apps who have the crystals on. They have the updo dreads. And I'm not saying that dreads is a problem, but I will say that it's more common for these type of women to go and let their hair lock up. It's usually the people who want to be closer to what the ancestors were and follow traditions that the so-called ancestors followed. Not knowing that in reality, they're being pushed into they're being pushed into that by the devil. The devil is pulling them into that. But out of ignorance, they're falling for it. So, some of the signs that you could look for to know if you're dealing with a woman that's into witchcraft is she's always burning sage at the house. That's a number one giveaway. If the house is always smelling like sage, Palo Santo, any of that stuff, she's into witchcraft. You might want to get away from her. Another way to figure out if she's into witchcraft, the jewelry she wears. If she has big old crystals around her neck, if she's always wearing copper, that's another sign that she's into witchcraft. If she's always talking about the universe this and the universe that, and that she's anti-religion but she's spiritual, and then you ask her what does she mean by spiritual, she says she has a relationship with the ancestors. She's into witchcraft. You might want to get away from her. If you come across a woman who, let me think. If you come across a woman who is always jumping from being loving and caring and soft-spoken to like this, she gives off an energy, a demonic energy to you, like that feeling of if you say the next thing she may kill you. She might do witchcraft. She's probably under possession by one of her spirits. It's a lot of people want to run and say it's bipolarism, but a lot of times it's the fact that they're dealing with the witchcraft stuff and they're under demonic possession and don't even know it. You come across that a lot. Yeah, we gotta be more open to, no, not more open, but we need to open our eyes. That's what I mean to say. We need to open our eyes to what's going on with these women nowadays. There's a reason why there's this war between men and women. And this war between men and women didn't come until we stopped going to church. This war between men and women didn't start until the internet really became a thing. Like, and we're still, if you really think about it, we're still at the beginning points of this internet thing. Like, I can only imagine what the relationship between men and women will be like in the next 20 years. If we're already at the point that we're at now, where the enemy has come and figured out a way to conquer and divide us all. And a lot of the problems is because we're following the wrong path in life. We're choosing the path that creates chaos instead of following a path that's built off order, that's built off of having morals. Because that's another problem that we have in our community. Not even just the black community, all communities, is the morals have been thrown out the window. People are just using each other just to use each other. People are pretty much on some vampire type shit, like sucking each other dry as much as they can. And that's another thing that you gotta watch out for with dealing with these women. A lot of these women have succubuses on them. They're only with you to drain your life energy. Like if she's always every 2 seconds trying to have sex or telling you things like, I gotta make sure you're drained so you don't go and mess with any other women. She is a fucking vampire. She has a succubus on her. Yeah, she'll do all that freaky stuff that you see in the porno movies and all that type stuff, but in reality, she's a succubus. And all she's gonna do is drain you of your life force, drain you of who you are as a man. Take, and never give. Yeah, she'll give you your little compliments and stuff, but that's nothing but narcissistic behavior. She'll love bomb you until it's time to take the energy that she needs from you, whether it's through sex or argument. So with all that being said, I just want everybody to pay more attention to what they're doing and realize like it's a real spiritual war going on out here.